intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Sky's the limit, baby.
BoxingVoice.com.
We don't fight for rings and stuff like that. I don't fear anyone.
En este deporte no se viene a jugar y no le tengo miedo a nadie.
We don't come to play in this sport. I fear no one in this sport.
Does that mean that you will fight Triple G later this year?
Como lo dije en la pelea pasada, ahorita mismo me vuelvo a poner los guantes.
As I said in the last fight, right now I'll put on the gloves again.
¡Viva México!
Canelo wants to unify all the titles.
When did you realize, Andy, that you could take his power?
Because of the Mexican warrior that I am, I got that Mexican blood in me. So, talking about the Mexican style, I just proved it.
BoxingVoice.com.
Ain't no other sight in the game to see the Boxing Voice.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs, bringing you some breaking news. Top Rank just informed the world what I had told you already. Yeah, I'm metaphorically patting myself on the back. We said it. We said it was going to happen. I mean, not just me, obviously. The listeners, the callers of this show, we all kind of insinuated that the James Prince collaboration between Efe Ajagba would lead to a possible Top Rank signing and promotional contract. And that's exactly what happened, guys. That's exactly what took place. Top Rank has signed Efe Ajagba, and they went a step further. The undefeated heavyweight destroyer Efe Ajagba not only is signed by Top Rank, but has now stopped training with Ronnie Shields, world-renowned Ronnie Shields, and is now training with Shakur Stevenson's trainer, Michaela Mayer's trainer, the real big baby Jared Anderson's trainer, Jared Hurd's trainer, Kay Koroma. So this is getting interesting. Kay is becoming like the new Bo Mac out there, man. And wow. I did foresee a possible Top Rank signing, but never did I think that they would leave or get rid of Ronnie Shields. So I'm so interested in hearing what Ronnie got to say. We should be having him on in a few minutes. But this is a long-term promotional agreement. How many years is that? I don't know, but they're using the word long-term. I'm gonna go with the 3 or the 5. So let me go ahead and cut out and try and get me some Ronnie Shields here. Actually, I'll keep you guys on while we do the merger. But yeah, man, this one came out of left field slightly. The trainer change, that was a little bit shocking for me. But let me give you some quotes here from Efe himself. And remember, Efe, the one and only, even though they're changing him, it looks like, to the heavyweight destroyer. But Efe says, I made this decision to become a better boxer and advance my career. That's why I signed with James Prince and Top Rank. When I return to the ring soon, you will see a new Efe Ajagba. Kay Koroma and I are working on my head movement and defense as I seek to become a more well-rounded fighter. I'm going to say this. We fell asleep on this one, guys. Once this broke, I went to Efe's Instagram, and he's been with Kay for the last 6 days. He posted pictures already working out with Kay and pictures with Shakur. We slept. We fell asleep. And usually I like to say that we're on top of things so that you don't have to be. So I'm really pissed off that I didn't catch this one, bro. I didn't see this. Like 6 days ago, he posted side-by-side pics with Kay Koroma 6 days ago, man. And then like yesterday he posted the pic of him and Shakur and the rest of the team. So I'm really upset I dropped the ball on this, but it looks like we got Mr. Monguilla in the building. Mario Fuego Ski, what's up, dog?
What up? What up? Yo, crazy. I mean, I don't even know what to say right now. Like, this is just, I mean, obviously we knew what was going on, and some of this isn't really news, or it's not brand new news, but yo, I'm tripping. I'm not gonna lie. I was at the gym, literally like, what? And yeah.
Bro, that's what I just finished saying. I was a little, like, we kind of called it. We kind of called the James Prince managerial position would maybe lead to a top-ranked promotion. And,
Yes.
Man, did that come quicker than what I expected. But let me cut out and get Ronnie and get this thing started.
Yeah, go ahead and cut out. Listen, I think that, it's a move worth making. As long as Tyson Fury keeps the belt, then it's, he's got a direct shot. The problem is if Wilder wins, I don't know, man. It's going to be crazy. It's definitely going to be crazy, but it opens up avenues that might not have been as clear before this. Everybody makes a big deal, not a big deal, but everybody talks about the welterweight division. Gotcha. Let's go.
Yeah, we got world-renowned Ronnie Shields on the line. Ronnie, I would just want to thank you first and foremost for always giving us the time and coming on the program. But I know your ears got to be ringing, man. You're the hot button topic. It looks like we're late. I just checked Efe's Instagram and I seen he was with Kay Koroma about 6 days ago. So when did you find out that you were no longer going to be the lead trainer with Efe Ajagba?
I found out before he did.
You say you found out the same day we did?
I found out before he did.
Oh, before he did.
Whoa.
Wow. So what happened? Were you the one that decided not to be part of the team? What exactly took place here? Because I mean, this was one of your up and coming guys. You never sounded like you didn't see potential in him.
Well, as soon as he decided he wanted an advisor in Jay Prince, and then as soon as Shelly Finkel said he was getting rid of his contract, I decided that I wasn't going to train him anymore. So I did it before he did it.
Wait. You said once he decided that he was going to sign a James Prince and wasn't going to renew his contract with Richard Schaefer, that's when
listen. No. Here's what happened. He signed an advisor thing with Jay Prince. He signed as an advisor to have Jay Prince as an advisor, which is nothing because he can only advise him. He couldn't have nothing to do with anything. But when Shelly Finkel found out about it, that he signed Jay Prince as an advisor, Shelly called me up and said, you know what, I'm just going to sell my contract to him. Then that way he can manage him. If he don't have trust that I'm doing the right thing with him, then why should I even, continue to manage him? I don't need nobody else in my ear to tell me how to do my business, which is true. Shelly has managed hundreds of fighters throughout his career. So he doesn't need anybody to come advise him to tell him how to move Efe Ajagba. So as soon as he did that, which was about 3-4 weeks ago, that's when I quit.
So your alliance is to Shelly Finkel, basically.
My alliance is to me, is to myself. But Shelly and I have been friends for years, But when that happened, and then Shelly said I was getting rid of his contract, then I said, well, if you're doing that, then I'm not training him anymore.
Wow. So this is a loyalty thing, Ronnie? By the way, this is Mario Munguia. Thanks for being here. It's a loyalty thing?
Yeah, of course. Of course it's a loyalty thing.
I respect that. I respect that. Now, I'm not going to ask you to, delve into the mind like you said. Shelly has managed tons of fighters. You have trained guys to world championship. I mean, nobody needs to sit here and go over y'all's resumes. But what do you think could have happened? Like, what is the dramatic shift all about?
Well, you know what? Sometimes when a guy meets a woman, have a baby, all of a sudden they think they own them. And then they start getting in their ear. They want to tell them they need to do this, need to do that. You don't need to do this, or you don't need to do that. And also, you need to have somebody else looking after your back. Then things happen. So when things like that happen, everybody got a decision to make. And so I made my decision then that I wasn't going to train him anymore.
Ronnie, it's funny that we have you on the show today and we're actually discussing, trainer fighter separation. We had Pedro Diaz on and we had asked him about, Miguel Cotto leaving Emmanuel Stewart to train with Pedro Diaz, then ultimately leaving Pedro Diaz to train with Freddie Roach. And my question to Diaz was like, doesn't it hurt that you invest time and hours and love into a fighter than to have him walk away? Like, I would be taking this stuff personally. I'm sorry. That's just me.
Well, let me tell you something, man. When I first got into this game, right, Lou Duva and George Denton, I started working with them first. And they both told me the same thing. They say, never, ever fall in love with the fighter. He said, because either you're going to want to leave them or they're going to want to leave you. And they say, when it happens, just go about your business and let it go. And I've been that way ever since. Efe Ajagba isn't the first fighter I've ever that I walked away from. I walked away from plenty of fighters, because of certain things that happens, And look, if he can't be loyal to somebody who was taking care of him for all of his time since he's been in the United States, then how can I be loyal to him? Because he definitely ain't going to be loyal to me if he can't be loyal to someone that's taking care of him.
Yeah, no, I think we can all understand that. I think, though, it's like, you've helped him along this far. There is, and he has so much prospect that we've seen. At what point, I mean, like, you take yourself out of it, it's like a business move, I guess, but aren't there any, like, residual, like, feelings in terms of, like, it's a disappointment? I mean, y'all were on a journey together, especially with the heavyweight division.
Well, man, I think being in this game for so long, I look at it this way. Fighters come and fighters go. That's just, it's a business. So, sometimes a fighter make a move that you may not agree with, and then you say, well, I'm just going to take myself out of the equation. There's no love lost.
Okay.
He's one fighter. So, I got plenty of fighters. So he's one fighter, and
but Ronnie,
I like the guy.
Did he plead with you? Like, and I'm not saying beg, but I'm saying, did he say, "Oh, but Ronnie, why? We could still work."
I spoke to him on the day I found out about when everything is going to happen. He called me, and I hung up on him, and that's the last I've.
What? Wait.
That was like 3 weeks ago.
Wait a minute, Ronnie. You didn't hear him out? You hung up?
There's nothing to hear out.
Holy smoke! So I mean, wait. So you guys
I
must have had a conversation before.
Listen. I spoke to the guy, right? He told me what he wanted to do, and I told him that was very disrespectful, and I hung up on him.
Damn!
Wow. We found.
He knows how I feel about everything. Okay, he knows how I feel about everything. All my fighters that I train know how I feel about everything. Something happens, if something that he wasn't satisfied with, about everything, can you call that person? If he wasn't satisfied with the way Shelly wasn't handling his career, he should have called Shelly and talked to Shelly like a man. If he wasn't satisfied with the way I train him, call me like a man and talk to me and say, hey, this is what, this is that. I got none of that. So, but when he did that to Shelly and didn't even call me and say anything, then that's when I left.
Got it. Now, we heard a few weeks ago about Dillian Whyte dropping his trainer, without a phone call. Apparently it was like the lawyers got involved and all that stuff. So I guess what I'm saying is there still room, for y'all to at least be cordial? I know you said it's no love lost, but at this point, it seems like the tie is just severed. You wouldn't want to, at some point, hear him out, and not to get excuses or anything, but at the end of the day, just to kind of, bury the hatchet?
No. Okay, here's the thing. I got nothing against Efe Ajagba. Mm-hmm. He made a decision. This is his career. He made a decision on his career. And, God bless him. If I see him today or tomorrow, hey, I'm going to shake his hand and talk to him like I always spoke to him. I'm not mad at him because he made that decision. That's on him. He got to live with that. That's something he got to live with. Not me. And I wish him all the best. I wish he'd go on and win the heavyweight championship of the world. I really do. But, it's just, when you don't have morals in the sport, and you don't have morals with anybody that's been helping you and brought you here to this country and, did everything for you, and you're not even called them and say nothing, that's crazy. That's crazy. So
no, it is.
So you've got to have morals in the sport. Call and say, hey, can I talk to you about this? Or here's the move I'm about to make. You make a move and then we'll call the manager.
Now, here's
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, of course. But here's my thing, and this might be selfish as a fight fan and a person who's a fan of both you and Efe, separate but together. I looked at Efe. He's very raw. Like, he has a lot of physical talents, but I thought y'all were the perfect match. Like, I thought that you were exactly who could get him there. Like, if he couldn't get there, then he would never get there. And all, I guess I'm just looking at it like I don't mean responsibility like you're responsible for him, but I'm having such a hard time seeing this just automatic disconnect, knowing how far y'all have come, first of all, and how much further y'all could have gone. I guess if I was just in those shoes, obviously I'd be disappointed if I'm him. But if I were you, I guess I would just be thinking about that. But I guess that's all that I can say about that. And you said it best, though.
I tell you like this, man. Like I said a long time ago, I know boxing is a business, and fighters come, fighters go. And I got paid for training Efe. That's in our relationship was fighter training. That's it. There was nothing else after that. There was nothing, no other relationship behind except a business relationship. Now that's over with. But
that's all for me to believe.
I have nothing against him because he made up. That's hard for you to believe what? That we had a business relationship?
That you had no sort of friendship with him because, you figure a dude that's an immigrant to this country.
I have to hang with the guy.
Exactly.
I hang with,
I'm sure he
with the guy.
leaned on you a lot.
Listen. Yeah, of course. But at the same time, again, like I told you before, in my heart, I know fighters come and fighters go. Things happen. And look, a breakup is a breakup. It's so funny that people are calling me about this relationship, right? But I had a closer relationship with Jermall Charlo when we broke up. And I never got a lot of this. And Jermell was at the top of the line when
I ran down on you in New Jersey. I was the first one. I'm like, Ronnie, what happened? I was the first one. I see you in the Prudential Center.
Yeah. but that's what I'm saying. Fighters come and fighters go. Look, man, if I was to sit here and be worried about, that I'm not training another fighter, man, I'd be running myself crazy. Man, I'm too old for that, number one. Number two, I don't care what these guys do. A fighter can do whatever he want to do. I'm happy with the fighters that I train that are satisfied with what I'm doing for them. You know what? And it is what it is. I mean, maybe it's hard for you guys to see it on the outside, but you got to be in this game. I've been embedded in this game my whole life. And fighters, I know how I was a fighter myself, so I know how fighters think. I know everything about a fighter, but it doesn't bother me that a fighter say, "I want to make a change." I want to make a change. Hey, you know what? That's a fighter's right. He got that right to do that because you know what? That's his career. He's the only one that got to get inside that ring. I don't have to get in that ring anymore. That's not me. But my morals are intact. And if I can't work with a fighter, then I can't work with him. That's just simple as that. And I would not lose 1 minute of sleep over that because it is what it is.
So, Ronnie,
I've been through this so many times.
Did you foresee this at all? Because obviously the world is going to assume that he or his wife decided to make changes after, that fight where he got knocked down.
Well, if they would have made changes after that fight, look at him in the next fight. You see all the improvements that he made in the next fight? How good he looked in the next fight?
So you didn't foresee
this
though. You didn't foresee this. You didn't think this was coming. You didn't know. This came out of left field for you?
It came out of left field for everybody that he, again, it all stemmed from him hiring an advisor. And I think that made, Shelley felt that, look, man, because Shelley called me about it. I didn't know about it. He knew about it before I did. That, he signed an advisor with change me. Shelley said, well, it doesn't. An advisor can only advise him. He said, he ain't got nothing to do with the contract. I mean, him. Shelley said, but at the same time, I don't need an advisor. Somebody advising him against me if that was the case. I mean, I don't know. They never got to work together. Shelley just decided, hey, I'm just going to get rid of him if you don't think I'm doing a great job with him. And let me tell you something. Shelley Finkel he's doing a great job with Efe Ajagba. A great job.
Well, Ronnie, listen.
So it was no.
I'm sorry. You gave me that pause. I thought you was done on a great job. But let's leave it there anyway, and let's switch to Jermall Charlo, who is in camp, still is with you. He's in a big fight. I want to thank you first and foremost because you had broke that news with us the last time you were on, and it definitely came to pass. And now you have Derevyanchenko across the corner from you. So what can you tell us, I guess, just about the chemistry between you and Charlo for this camp?
Oh, man, our chemistry is great. Jermall and I work great together. We're always on the same page. We have a history. So, it's not like, this is new for us. This is just another fight. It's a different guy. Nothing more than that.
Now, Ronnie, the fact that it's on pay-per-view, the fact that Derevyanchenko is kind of like a boxing hardcore fan darling right now with the efforts that he put against Jacobs and Golovkin, it doesn't feel like perhaps the biggest fight of Jermall's career. I mean, I know the J-Rock fight was an amazing moment, but it doesn't feel like this is the biggest fight of his career thus far.
Well, again, man, I've been in this sport all my life, and I realized one thing when I got into the sport after being a fighter for 16 years that I was fighting. No matter what anybody says, every fight is a big fight. One guy, because one guy has, fought 2 or 3 guys that people thought was really good behind another guy who probably didn't. It doesn't make a difference. Everybody brings something different to the table. And so, every fight is a big fight. So, I mean, even if we were fighting Canelo Alvarez, okay, people be saying, oh, that's a bigger fight of his career. From whose standard, though? We all got different standards that we see. We all got different standards that we see and look into people. But at the same time, if you don't train for the guy that's in front of you, then you know what's going to happen? You're going to get your butt beat, and you're going to lose. So, to me, every fight is a big fight, and I make sure every fighter that I train understands that.
Well, I think overall, I feel like it was the biggest move. And the reason why I say that is because look, we know that Jermall wants that Canelo fight, right? And this feels like almost like a Canelo eliminator. The fact that he got the opponent that Canelo, was chasing, that's got to feel kind of big. But does it feel like y'all are closing the gap on Canelo? Like if y'all get this victory, he's got nowhere else to go at this point?
Well, I'll tell you what, after we get the victory, then we'll see. It's all, the ball is in their court. The ball's in their court. He could have said, hey, you know what, let me fight Jermall Charlo right now. He had that opportunity to do that, but he chose not to. So we moved on and got the fighter that eventually he wanted to fight. But, we got him signed right away. So, it's his loss.
Yeah, definitely.
So Ronnie, who's sparring with the Charlo to get him ready? Who you brought in? You using the
we don't have anybody. Using who?
I thought you was gonna. I thought you were using. I thought you were using Aries again. I remember seeing Aries in there.
Oh no, we're not using those Aries this fight. We're talking to like 3 or 4 different guys right now. I don't want to name anybody yet because what we're doing is we're testing everybody first before they come down, and then we'll announce the sparring partners.
So you said you testing them for COVID?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, beautiful, man. Shout out to you guys keeping the champ safe. So listen, I want to ask you, Jermell. I know you don't work with him anymore, but recently he tweeted out. While the fights were happening last Saturday on Showtime, and someone you might know because he's from Houston, his name is Joseph George, was on Showtime, and he had an explosive knockout.
Yes, I saw that.
So Jermell said, we can make him better. We can make him great. We want to sign him. We know that kid. Do you know anything about Joseph George? Did you see him in the amateurs? Have you ever trained him? Would you be willing to? And I know it wouldn't be because Jermell said, because obviously you guys, severed ties.
No, I do know Joseph George. I've seen him. He's come to the gym to one of our gyms before. He's trained at our gym before, and he's a good fighter. He did have his explosive knockout. I thought he was losing the fight up to that point, though. But he came back. The fight is never over until the final bell. So, but he's a good fighter. I've been knowing him for a long time. I knew him when he came out the amateurs. He was working with this guy one of the guys I used to work with a while back. And then when the guy I used to work with, he quit, then Georgia Drugs went to the guy that's training him now. So, but I've only seen him in the gym a few times, but this was years ago when he was an amateur. So when he turned professional, no, I didn't see him then. But, I saw his last 2 fights against the same guy. And, and I thought he lost the first fight, but he came back in this fight and he knocked the guy out, and he made it a no doubt that he was the better fighter.
Definitely, and it definitely caught everybody's attention on social media. That's for sure. Speaking of Jermell, real quick, obviously y'all are going to be, you'll have y'all's own fight that night, but he is on that card. You have any opinions on the Rosario fight with him? What do you expect? I think it's a good fight. I think it's a competitive fight. What do you think?
Yeah, it's going to be a competitive fight, man. Look, Rosario, now that he's champion, you got to expect him to be at least a 20 to 25% better fighter than he was anyway. And, when you're a champion, that makes you even better. It makes your mind even go beyond the horizons, because now you're at the top of the chain. And so it makes you work harder. It makes everything. And, this is going to be a good fight. And, I really believe that Jermell is going to win. I think, with the experience that he has, he's been in these kind of fights. And, Jason hasn't. So it's going to be a tough fight early. But I think in the later rounds, I think Jermell probably would be a little bit too much for him in the later rounds.
Now, Ronnie, do the brothers ever spar each other? And the only reason I ask is because all right, because the reason I ask is because Rosario is said to be very big when rehydrated. We just had his former trainer on a few days ago, Jermall Charlo, who trains Luis Ortiz as well, and he had him when he came from DR for up until the loss. He fought him in the Gallimore loss, and he says he's a big guy. He says that the knock on him back then was, my man loved little snacks and stuff. He would find like Snicker bars under his bed, and
Right. Yeah. Yeah, but look, he is a big guy. I've seen him I've seen him a lot at a lot of the fights, and I say, man, there's nowhere in the world this dude's 154 pounds. I said, yeah, he is. He made I'm good friends with Samson, and Samson has him, and Samson told me how big this kid get, after the weigh-ins, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I can't believe how big he is, But at the same time, I think now the kid has realized that being that big is not good for him, because, when you're fighting, man, it's not good to gain 20 pounds, after the weigh-in. I mean, to me, that's ridiculous to gain that much weight. But, and I think the kid now, I think when he knocked that Julian, I don't think he was that big. He didn't get as big as he would normally get. I think he understands now that, you feel so much better, maybe 10 pounds over. You still fluid, with all your punches and everything, and you don't feel bloated. And I think now, that's going to make this kid a lot better fighter. But I just think Jermell's experience, is going to be too much for him in the later rounds.
Ronnie, let me ask you, because I think for me the details are still unclear, even though they've been presented. But from what I understand, the card featuring the Charlos is going to be split. Like, it's like part of the card's going to happen during the day, and they're going to come back. So in that situation, you got Jermall, who I'm sure is going to be wanting to see his brother fight. Do you expect to be at the arena the whole time? Is there any worry about him, being complacent in that one spot for a while? How do you think that's going to work?
Well, I don't know how this is going to work. As far as it's going to be a strict card, but I just think they're just going straight through. It's just, it's going to be 2 fights and then Jermell. Then it's going to be 2 fights and then Jermall. It's not going to be a, 2-hour break or whatever. No, it's going to go straight through. But, again, you got 2 fights and then the main event, which is Jermell. You got 2 fights in the main event, which is Jermall. That's it.
Okay.
And that's how they call it a skip.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
So, Ronnie, I want to believe that the role of a coach and teacher also kind of plays into, like, the one of a psychiatrist, right? Because people like to say that Jermall performed the way that he performed in the Koroma fight because he witnessed Jermell suffer his first loss. Mentally, that got to him, and he just couldn't be himself. So how do you not repeat the same thing? Now they're both on that same stage, because that card was the two twins' first time they be promoted in the manner that PBC promoted them for that fight. Now this time they're pay-per-view. So again, that same pressure and one fighting before the other again.
Well, these guys are grown men right now, and they have to learn how to handle their emotions. That's just the way it is. There's nothing, there's nothing you can prescribe for that. It's a reality, and I think they both have grown from that. And, they are twins, but they're separate, Jermell is facing Rosario. Jermall is facing David Jacob. So no matter what happens with that fight, you still have that man in front of you. And that's who you got to fight. So, you have to grow from what's happened in the past. And I think both of them have.
We got some questions.
Real quick, one last thing before we go to the Patreons. Ryan Karl's on the card. That's a guy that you've developed.
He's not.
I've enjoyed.
Not.
I'm sorry?
He's not on that card.
Oh, no, don't tell me. What happened?
What, he's not fighting Barrios, or are they fighting on another date?
He's still fighting Barrios, but they moved them to Leo Santa Cruz and Javante Davis. Card.
Oh, okay, cool.
October 24th.
Oh my God, I thought you were about to tell us that it wasn't going to happen. I was about to cry. Listen, I'm from Texas.
No.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Listen, I'm from Texas. I've gotten to see, what you've done with Ryan Karl. And all he's ever done every time I've interviewed you or interviewed him is, talk about, how big you were for him. Going into this fight with Barrios, it's a big test. And these guys have, in my opinion, being from Texas, we're always on a collision course with each other. What's the game plan? Not the game plan necessarily, but what are you hoping to get out of Ryan Karl? What does he need to do to be successful and get the W on fight night?
Well, I think the main thing he has to do is just, we have to grind, and what I mean by that is, he lives about 3.5 hours away from here. So, and he's going to have to come here for like 6 weeks, and, and we're just going to have to grind. A lot of times he wants to just come on sparring days only, and I can't train him that way. It's very difficult to train a fighter 3 days a week, and when you're fighting such an important fight. So my thing to them is that they have to get here, they have to stay here, and, and I know his wife just had a baby like a couple months ago, and, that's tough. But you're in a tough business. And so the most important thing is I think we have to be on the same page as far as training is concerned. But that's the most important thing. I can't have him 3 days. I need him for the whole week.
Got it.
Now, Ronnie,
perfect.
Is that something he's already committed to, or is that you speaking it into existence?
No, I mean, I spoke to him a few days ago, And I spoke to his dad today, actually, when they found out today that the fight was going to be moved to October 24th. So, but, we just spoke because I was going to train Jermall and I didn't have time to talk to him. So, but I'll call him up and talk to him and, give him a date when I want him to come here. Then we'll see if they come or they're going to do what they've been doing. So we'll just have to see.
All right, let's run through these questions from the people. We just got a few. We got Trey Miller that says, recently in an interview, Derevyanchenko said there has been no VADA testing for the Charlo fight. Is this true?
I have no idea because, normally when VADA, when they come, nobody knows when these guys come. But as far as I know right now, Jermall normally will tell me if they came or not. So, and he hasn't said anything. So I have no idea if they're going to be VADA tested or not.
All right. We got George Foster in the UK that says, do you see any similarities between the styles of Korobov and Derevyanchenko?
I don't, Derevyanchenko is a really orthodox fighter. Sometimes he switches to help. Different styles.
All right. James Valdez in San Antonio says, good afternoon, Coach. I'm a Texas native as well from San Antonio. I remember seeing you in the corner with some of your fighters and you were yelling at them to fight, to let their hands go, and you were giving them other instructions. And in between rounds, your frustration builds. I've heard you tell fighters, if you don't go out there and fight, I'm stopping this damn fight. Can you tell us why fighters shut down like this in fights, despite having trained and knowing what they are supposed to do?
Well, being a fighter, sometimes, fighters freeze just like everybody else, just like anything else. And sometimes you get into a fight and, you freeze up. It happens. But as a trainer, you have to get them out of that. And, you have to use language sometimes that they really don't want to hear, but you have to, do something to shock them into existence, And so that's what it is. You have to do something. And sometimes I've had fighters that I've stopped the fight because maybe they're taking too many punches, or they're just not doing anything. There's no sense in them leaving a fighter out there to get hurt and then they screw up his whole life, to get hit and he can't defend himself. I would never let a fighter, leave a fight in the ring that I fear if he can't defend himself, then I definitely would stop it.
We got Rue in the 504 that says, is Efe Ajagba ready for prime time or does he need more work?
Well, I think Efe needs more work. Of course. He just got ranked in the top 10 in the world. And, when you get to that level, then it means you have to stay at that level. So, he's not my concern anymore, so I don't care.
George in Dallas-Fort Worth says, is Fury stylistically Wilder's worst nightmare, or is Wilder past his prime?
Well, I don't think Wilder's past his prime, but there's always one guy out there that you can't beat. There's always a guy like that out there. And fighters don't ever want to see that guy, but Deontay is seeing that guy in Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury has his number. Simple as that.
All right, the next one is from Ryan O'Rourke, who says, thanks for coming on the show, Ronnie, from UK, Liverpool. So, do you see your loyalty more to the promotional company rather than the fighter? It's a short career and he needs to make the most money he can. Or was dropping Efe to secure your other fighters still and get on Shelly cards?
is to myself. You know, I tell guys from the very beginning that they walk into my gym. If you're not a loyal guy, if you can't be loyal to me or to people that's helping you, then you are not a loyal fighter. Simple as that. And, you know, it's easy to walk away from that.
Absolutely. We got Steven in the UK who says, "Hi, Ronnie. Thanks for coming on the show. We, the fans, really appreciate your time. I have a hypothetical for you. Do you think if Efe was able to explain his side of the story to your face, explain his side of the story to you face to face, then you might have a different opinion as to why he left Shelly?"
I mean, it could be, because I've had situations like this that happened before, but the fighter has come to me before anything has happened, you know, and has explained his side. And, you know, if it was something that could have been changed, then maybe he could have done it, you know, it would have been easier. But at the same time, it's not Efe. It's the girlfriend that did everything, and he just did a 360 and forgot about everything and everybody else that has helped him in his career. And when you do that without even, you know, I mean, even his roommate, Efe Pochi, didn't know what was going on. He didn't say a word to him. And, you know, if you don't say a word to someone that's in a home with you every single day, if you don't say a word to this guy about nothing, just completely cut him off, don't even talk to him about anything. You know, he would see them and wouldn't even speak. They're in the same house. How you do that that's your brother. You don't even talk to your brother about nothing. The brother found out looking at Instagram. And then when the brother confronted him, he said, "It's none of your business. How can you do that to anybody?" And to me, that's a disloyal person, and I don't have time and room for a disloyal person.
And to be clear, you're still training Efe Apuchi?
Yes, I am.
Cool. And he's still with Shelly, as far as you know? All right.
No, he is still with Shelly.
All right, last question is from Big Supermex out in Plainview, Texas. He says, who should be the main event, Jermell or Jermall? I understand Jermell is in a unification, but Jermall's fight has much bigger implications, in my opinion. I actually disagree. I think Jermell's in the bigger fight with more significance in his division. He should be the main event, but what about you?
Well, it's a double main event. Put it that way. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's
it's
how
a double
I see
main event. And to me, I don't care who fights first. You know, look, the fight is the fight. You know, to me, I don't care. It's not for them to make that decision. It's for the television network. They make all the decisions on who's going to go when and where. You know, the fighters and the trainers and the managers, they have no say-so in this thing. It's going to be all up to Steven Espinosa and Showtime of who's going at what time. It's simple as that. Fighters don't make that decision. If fighters made that decision, it would be easy.
Definitely.
Ronnie, what's the last top-ranked fighter you trained?
Oh, shit, I don't, let me see. Shit, I don't remember, to tell you the truth.
So, is that why you didn't want to continue to train Efe Ajagba? Because you don't like Top Rank?
No. I love Top Rank. I mean, I've been good friends with Byron. I've been good friends with Byron for years. Me and Karl already talk a lot. Me and Karl already are good friends. We talk a lot.
Listen, I'm just trying to make sure I check every corner.
Training a top-ranked fighter.
I got to make sure I
Yeah.
check every corner. So listen, there's no more questions from the
I
people.
was just on the phone the other day with Karl already.
Cool. There's no more questions from the people, but if you tell me you got time, I do have a few more because obviously you still train Laura, and he just got announced. And
No, I don't.
Oh, you ain't with Laura
I
no
don't
more?
train Laura.
Oh shit.
What you mean, man? You know I haven't trained Laura. I didn't train Laura for his last fight.
Oh man, well, all right, I must have forgot. Like Roy. Who trained Laura for his
Yeah,
last
you
fight?
forgot.
It was the Spanish.
Silas?
Silas. I think it's Silas.
Yeah.
Oh
Silas.
wow, he went to
That's
Vegas.
what it
He's in
was.
Vegas.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he's in Vegas. That's
I did
right.
see
I
him with
forgot.
Ronnie Ulgas. I did see him with Ulgas. My bad, Ronnie. I didn't mean to bring up. Damn, Ronnie, what's going? Yo, who we
No.
gotta talk to? Why everybody leaving? We gonna have to do something.
No. It's not that everybody's leaving. What it is Laura's getting a divorce, and he didn't want to stay here. He wanted to go to Vegas, wanted me to come to Vegas. I said no. I wasn't going to Vegas. My gym is here. I train here. If you want to go to Vegas, you go to Vegas. Bye.
Damn,
ABC
Ronnie.
you.
Yo, you official, man. How
I
many years?
can't.
How many
I
years
can't
have
help
you
it,
been
but
a
if a
trainer?
guy getting a divorce over 30, about 32 years.
Oh my God. So it ain't even money for you. It's just about love and
Now, how many
passion.
times I got to tell you? I told you from the beginning, when I first got in this sport, I learned from the best. No Dove and George Benton. Never, ever, ever fall in love with a fighter. And I'll never do. Ever.
Coach.
I never do.
Coach.
Here's the thing. You know, I don't brag about anything or nothing. But, I'm not a guy who's flamboyant and do things. I know how to save my money. I know how to take care of my family. I know how to do all of this stuff. And I don't depend on nobody else to do that for me. I do that for myself. You understand? And I will never, ever let a fighter come and tell me how to do my job or when to do my job. I already know how to do that. But, and any one of my fighters today, I tell you that I have no qualms. If you figure you could do better somewhere else, God bless you, and you go that way.
Ronnie, I wasn't sure if you were aware or not, but were you aware, speaking of your past, were you aware that Coach Franco from Corpus Christi is battling COVID and he's pretty sick now? I think y'all competed I know y'all competed in the amateurs together. Y'all were on the same team, traveled to Hawaii. We've talked about him in the past before. I just can't remember his first name.
Yeah, I can't remember his first name either. But, yeah, I spoke to him not too long ago, though.
Oh,
but I didn't know he was down with COVID right now. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I saw the post the other day, but, blessings to him. I just wasn't sure if you were aware because I know that, y'all spent some time together in the
No, I
amateurs
wasn't.
and stuff.
I wasn't. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ness.
Well, that's all we got, but I want to thank you, obviously, as always, Ronnie. I know you got Instagram now, so if you want to go ahead and give out any social media, please do so. And thank you again. Best of luck, obviously, with Jermall, and we can't wait to see that fight.
Well, I appreciate it. If you want to get with me on Instagram, it's at official Ronnie Shields.
All right, Ronnie. Well, thank you so much. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Trainer Ronnie Shields. I want to thank him, obviously, for coming on the line and giving us the scoopity-doop.
But and just like that, man, it wasn't like a planned thing. He came on and he does that for us, man. He's a good dude, man.
Yo, so I wanted to address people that's like, especially who was the Patreon, because obviously they don't know.
Ryan.
And I seen people like clapping him up. They're like, "Oh yeah, man, great question." So Ryan,
You talking about Ryan?
Yeah. And people are like, "Yo, how does a trainer have loyalty to a promotional company or a manager?" Well, think about it. Let's stick on topic with the name at the end of the show, Kay Koroma. Who does Kay Koroma train, Mario?
I don't know.
Uh-oh. Mario's not only not Mexican, he's not a boxing fan. He only knows Spanish guys. You see his bias guys? I'm putting him on the spot. You don't know who Kay Koroma trains? He trains a popular female. Come on.
Oh, no, never mind. That's not her trainer. I don't know who.
Oh my goodness, don't be ridiculous. He trains Michaela Mayer.
Oh, yeah.
Who else does he train? Mario still doesn't know who's this guy. Oh, brother. All right, he trains Shakur Stevenson.
I know who Kay Koroma is.
He trains Jarrett Hurd, Shakur Stevenson, Troy Isley, and now Efe Ajagba, but one other one out there.
But see, I was looking at the IG, and the way that he worded it, I don't know. Is that his official trainer now? He put.
Bruh, it's in the press release.
I see
I'm not going off the stories. I'm going off Top Rank. He is with Kay Koroma. I'm just saying I dropped the ball by not checking his Instagram 6 days ago. I feel
well.
whack.
When you had said that, I went to it and I looked at it, but then I didn't. I looked in the story just now and I saw it was right there.
It wouldn't even matter if 6 days ago we would have seen him. We would have found out from Ronnie 6 days ago before the story broke, because Ronnie would have kept it real. But anyway,
I'm not gonna lie. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No. I'm not gonna lie. I thought the question was a fair one. I guess. I just don't. I don't think that's like. I'm not saying it's a low blow. I just think that because it's like this. All right, let's use boxing bars for a second. Let's say that I started training I don't know, JP, right? And I'm training JP and I'm working on his bars and not that JP needs a help. He's amazing. I'm just using him as an example, right? And then he's like, yo, I'm with J&J Promotions now. Like no call, no heads up, nothing. It would be a weird thing for me to continue to train him after he did somebody dirty that, I'm more than close with.
Yeah, like, I don't think you even need to use a metaphor. The situation is self-explanatory. I think he gave enough explanation. He felt that there wasn't loyalty. You got to understand, man. Look, I'm an immigrant to an extent. I was born here, but my parents were not, and they migrated to this country, and I have relatives that did, so I know all about the getting the visa process and being mesmerized by the lights and the glitz of what is America when coming from a third world country. Now, I don't know what Ajagba's country is considered, but what Ronnie was specifically explaining is that if you cannot be loyal to the man that helped you get to America, okay, understand what that means. That's like when Samson finds these dudes in these nondescript countries where the dollar is worth like 55 of the native currency, and he brings you to America, gets you a working visa, puts you up in a house, gets you a trainer. Yeah, if you walk away from that, there is going to be some people upset and questioning your loyalty. Now, as far as Ronnie Shields, I never got to the point I was trying to make. When you come to loyalty and his to the advisor, manager, promoter, well, all of them are loyal to someone. Robert Garcia trains predominantly top-ranked fighters. Does he have a few here and there from other places? Absolutely, but predominantly top-ranked fighters. And it looks that way for Kay Koroma. Did Jarrett Hurd go over there after his first loss? Absolutely, but everyone else is top.
That's a good point.
Everyone else is top-ranked. And that's the way that it works. Like when Shelly signed Efe, he went to Ronnie,
Their battle line.
He didn't just bring Efe, he brought both of his Nigerians, Efe and his brother, Efe Apuchi, So that's the way that it works. Barry Hunter, for instance, look at his fighters. Lamont Peterson, Anthony Peterson, where did they fight? Who was their advisor? Who came next? Al signed Rashid Warren. Where did he end up? On PBC. Who trained him? Barry Hunter. Like, of course there's going to be a loyalty. Weirdos, man, that don't know nothing about boxing or business always try to find some weirdness. But how am I not going to be loyal to the dude that's going to consistently get me fighters throughout my life?
Okay, but let's be fair though. It's not a weirdo thing. Like it was a fair question, and I'm glad he asked it at the end of the day because
listen, I'm not speaking to Ryan. You know? Like I said, I'm not speaking to Ryan. I said specifically that I was speaking to of Ryan's question, but to the people reacting like, oh, such a great question, like metaphorically high-fiving, and it's like, bro, it's a decent question, but you should know the answer. Like, we should know. Look at every trainer. Where's Virgil Hunter's alliance? He had one fighter outside like of the normal, which was Ward. Everyone else is like Mario Barrios, PBC, Andre Berto, PBC, Amir Khan, PBC. Name another one. Peter Quillen, PBC. Like, should I continue? Andre Rozier, where's his alliance?
Listen, if you think about it for a second, there are very few trainers. Like, it's about the trainer-fighter relationship. Like, you look at a guy like Freddie Roach, right? And if Manny Pacquiao were to left Top Rank and go with PBC, I could never imagine Freddie Roach saying, well, that's it. I'm done with him. You know what I mean? I was cool with Top Rank. Like, because that's that fighter, you know, the relationship's based on the fighter. Like, they brought him along. You know, in most situations, it really doesn't work like that. Like, you look at, like a guy like Robert Garcia, who has a lot of these Golden Boy fighters, right? And then we see him pop up from time to time, like with different cards. And, you know, I don't think that if, you know, let's say Tanahara left Golden Boy, like he wouldn't stop training him. You know what I'm saying? But they came in together. Like, this was a business situation, which is most of the time the way that these fighter trainer situations work. So again, I think that it was a question that deserved to be asked, deserved to be answered. But like you said, I think it's a question that, you know, you already know the answer to. Like, we've seen these lines drawn in the sand between promoters, managers, advisors, like, you know, Jay Prince, like, who do most of his fighters fight under? You know what I mean? And so it's just a situation where, like you said, I think that we know the game well enough to know the way it works. And it might not be the cleanest of sports, but at the end of the day, you know, he's talking about loyalty. And here's the thing. If you're in Ronnie's shoes, right, and you from the outside, or not the outside looking, he's obviously inside, but if you see him, he's like, okay, well, he just left Shelly. Like, who's to say he doesn't get that Fury fight and ditch me? You know, who's to say that, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying it was a situation where he's like, I'm going to break up with him before he could break up with me. I'm just saying that if you lose that loyalty, it's a tough thing to keep.
It was that situation, Mario. That's what he said. He said, if you can't be loyal to the guy that brought you to this country, then you're not a loyal person, and I don't want to deal with you. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Like, he literally said that with his mouth. Well, he definitely said that the girlfriend has everything to do with it. But again, if you're a Latin person,
we've seen that though. Tim
exactly.
Bradley?
I feel like I was gonna say from like my own household, like as a Latino, I feel like I see that all the time. Like, my brother was that kind of dude. Like, get with a girl and everything is different. It's like, yo, champ, you know we still brothers. You know what I mean? But it is the way it is, you know?
Sure, I feel you on that. Yeah, no, that hits home more than you even think. But no, I get that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It was a weird, like, you know, with Bradley, you know, Monica, that was her name, right? Monica? Yeah. Monica, she came into the situation, like, she started to take over, right, and be the manager at some point, right? He left Cameron Duncan.
Let me interject.
Okay.
Sometimes the wife stepping in does work out. Like, Monica, even though it we had Bradley every week till Monica got in the picture, but she did way better for him from a financial standpoint. Like, when she took over, like, he blew up. He blew up money-wise, big fights. You know, the Top Rank deal, a lot. You know, the Pacquiao rematch, you know. So you can't knock Ajagba, but you can't knock Ronnie, man, because again, everybody got their alliances. So when you are Freddie and Robert, that you just have so. Oh shit! Sorry, girl. Rolled over her little ass. Sorry. Yo, when you're Freddie and Robert, that you just have so many, you are gonna hit cross promotion. But
exactly,
don't act like you're blind. Don't act like Robert's alliance isn't to Top Rank and Freddie's isn't to Top Rank. Like
exactly.
Top Rank has been in this business for so many years that their relationships are just very extended, man. They know people for so long. But look at Robert fighters, bro. He's got dozens with Top Rank and a few sprinkled with Golden Boy
yep.
now, And then once you might get shocked here and there and like, oh wow, he's training a PBC fighter every now and then, but rarely, I mean, Mikey, if you want to consider him that, and which he's not, like he's in his own realm of superstardom, whereas where Mikey's at. But
I just feel, Ness, that like people are trying to make this like a PBC versus Top Rank thing, and that to me feels ugly. Like,
but from what standpoint? Because I mean, it is
from the standpoint. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was ending with that. Like, from what standpoint do you see it that way? Because I kind of do see it that way. Like,
from the standpoint that they're trying to be like, yo, told you so. PBC can't get this done. Oh, all the fighters need to it's like such a personal,
but it is like that
individual situation. It doesn't, but it's not. You're saying that's the way it should be.
No, I'm not saying that's the way.
People have a right to feel that way.
I think people have a right to feel that way because it's like that. Like when I seen it, right? When I got the email, I said, damn, Top Rank got that over on them. Same way I felt when Top Rank signed Big Baby. Like, if you are signing the talent, you are the man. That's just how it goes. When Al was swallowing all the talent and he had 200 plus fighters and he had all the inventory, that was the bragging point. He got the fighters.
Listen, that's fair. That's fair. The part to me that's not fair, like it's fair to say, yo, Top Rank got a win on this one. PBC takes the L because of the superstar that FA represents, the ceiling that he has, right? What to me isn't fair is to say that FA's decision is a direct commentary on how poor PBC treats its fighters or how they have a lack of ability to land certain fights or do certain things. Like, yes, there are sides of the street, but ultimately it's an individual thing. You know what I mean? Everybody's on their own journey. Everybody has their own, course that they're on. Right. And so you can't just say, oh, FA's decision is a direct reflection on how poorly Al is, treating fight, or Shelly, I guess, how poor PBC, like it's not, it doesn't have to be that. You know what I mean? We don't have to take it there. It's a W for Top Rank. They scored, in my opinion, an incredible talent, right? And I think he's in pretty good hands with James Prince. Like, listen, I might be a little biased. I think James Prince is an amazing manager and a great advisor. And if you want to say that, Al does XYZ for his fighters in terms of money, we've seen that from James Prince as well. And I might be biased with Ronnie. He's from Texas, and I feel like he had every right to make the decision he had. But ultimately, I think it's just an individual, set of course. I mean, we can run down a few fighters that have left PBC or have left Top Rank, and ultimately they both have wins and losses. It's a core trajectory. Everybody was like, yo, Crawford made the biggest mistake of his life re-signing with Top Rank and extending the contract and not going to PBC. But this is his journey. At the end of the day, if this is what works for him, look at Pacquiao. He was on that journey with Top Rank for so long, and now the trajectory got shifted. Will it shift back to Top Rank? Who knows? Will it shift back? Will it shift to Golden Boy? Back to Golden Boy after all these years because he originally signed with them and they got a piece of Pacquiao for years? I don't know. Maybe they make a Canelo fight. Who knows? But all I know is that at this point in time, people are using these moves as a way of, as ammo against whoever they don't like. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't see it that way.
I can't believe that people want to either see someone win so bad or see the other person lose so much that they're really they don't see the argument to have loyalty to the guy that found you, right? The guy that believed in you, the one that sought you out in your foreign country, the one that gave you the deal, the one that found you the visa, the one that made all the arrangements to get you to America and to get you with a world-class trainer and to get you on television. That person, like, I don't even understand, like, and again, Ronnie said it, morals, but, some of you guys
and here's the thing, like, the story is incorrect if you're trying to say, well, FA picked this side versus that side. Like, Shelley released him from the contract.
No, he sold it.
He sold it. I'm sorry, he sold it, but he made the decision.
Yeah, because
you know what I'm saying. It wasn't like FA
because he didn't want to be advised. Because
exactly,
I'm a manager being advised by you. He's like, what the hell? Look, if you don't
listen.
And I like what Ronnie said. He said that Shelley said, well, if you need an advisor to advise me, then go ahead and do your thing. That means you don't trust what I'm doing. And
exactly.
And that's how it should be.
I don't think that it was a bad move or a wrong move or an ugly move. All I'm saying is that it wasn't FA that came to Shelley like, yo, I need out of this contract. I am done with you. Yo, I'm done with Ronnie. I'm done with all y'all. I'm going to this side. Like, it wasn't like that. He signed an advisory role, and Shelley maybe saw the writing on the wall. You could maybe put it that way.
I don't even think so, because remember,
I
don't even think so, because remember, I was on Shelley. I was on Finkel, and he kept reassuring. All I can tell you is that I'm his manager, and I'm like, all right, but what about the fact that it's rumored that he's gonna sign a Top Rank? He's like, as of right now, I can tell you that he's not signing Top Rank. I'm like, all right, Shelley, whatever. You're being mad evasive, but I just don't get how. Like, everyone gives Sansom credit, right? They give Sansom credit for finding Pacquiao. He wasn't robbed of Pacquiao. He was able to find them and like, unlike Shelley, let's say, sell that contract, and I just feel like, look, FA did what's right for him. That's for sure. That's for sure. And this is a good move for him. He's going to get that Top Rank diet. We all know it. He'll get that great Top Rank exposure. What is it? Sports Center, all that stuff. Like, Max is now all of a sudden going to be talking about, how it goes. He'll probably end up sparring with Fury and everything because of the relationships. The same way that Shakur sparred with Loma and Tio, all these guys, because it's a family, you know what I mean? Why wouldn't you let the iron sharpen the iron? So, for Ajagba, I think it's a great move. It's a great move. Just to address some other comments. So I seen people saying, well, like, wow, PBC didn't have a contract, Al didn't have a contract. No. So, like, Mario is from Texas, right? I have the boxing voice. He knows Jerry Belmontes. He's like, Ness, let's get Jerry on. No problem. You see how that works? You see how that works? I'm Al Heyman. Mario is Shelley.
Oh, got you.
He knows.
Yes.
Mario has Ajagba. Me and Shelley got a working relationship. So
there's no need for a contract in the sense that where if you're with the guy that I work with, then it's no problem. Like, we'll do business.
Listen,
the minute you're not with them, then we don't want to, we're not doing business. Because who's to say that, well, he signed with Top Rank now, I guess. Never mind.
Well, the thing is that when it comes to Al, if you remember the Darrell situation, you can go. Look at Jamel Herring. You can go. You know what I mean? Well, I think Jamel was released, but, you can go if you want. And, it is what it is. You can go. So, he doesn't really get paper. A lot of these dudes are not on paper. It's like, he takes care of them so that most of them stick around. But look, Ajagba is new and probably wanted to get more money earlier than he probably thought he should have, and that's cool because, look, right now, with all the purses being so accessible and stuff like that, everybody sees what each other are making, and then they call people. So, maybe they could secure him a better guarantee during these developmental fights, which obviously he needs. Ronnie made it clear that he got married and he has a newborn. So, he needed that bread. Look, let's open up these phone lines and get out to these callers. Yeah, man, it's going to be a good one. I can't wait to see who they put him in the ring with.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
And when will be his debut? They didn't mention any of that, like in the press release. Hopefully they get him on some of these bubble cards that are about to start back up.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
I will say this, right? Like,
Ness, we do have super chats, just real quick.
Cool. I will say this. I did make a big fuss, and I felt like Eddie should have re-signed Big Baby, and I felt like PBC dropped the ball by not signing him, and I felt like Top Rank won by signing him. And then that didn't turn out to be that way because, they signed them, and it looked like they were winning, and then Big Baby test positive, so there was no ROI, no return on investment.
Yeah.
So
Big Super Bex Rodriguez. You remember the question he asked, right?
No.
About who's the main event?
Yeah.
Or who should be the main event?
Yeah.
His response was, cut the BS. The main event is whoever closed the pay-per-view.
True.
Yeah, because it was kind of like a little weird situation. I understood what he said, but to me, because it's 2 cards, I do feel like it is a double main event. You know what I mean? Because they're going to have their own. And he said there wasn't going to be like a big break in between.
No break.
And that's what
he
I
said
don't
no
understand.
break. He said no break.
He said no break. And that's what I don't understand.
It'll be 6 straight fights. But every third is a main event.
Got it.
Let me get to
Yo,
these
by the way,
callers.
that Mario Barrios, that's breaking news. You know that, right? That's nowhere.
That's
Nobody
dope.
said that. Like,
That's dope. You ain't gonna write it. You gonna fall asleep like always.
all right. I'm already done with it.
He falling asleep, y'all.
Uh-oh. This guy deserves all the praise. Jay from Orlando.
I told y'all. Y'all ain't want to listen. I told you, hey, and I called tonight. 2 knockdowns.
Oh, you caught 2 knockdowns and a draw. This guy, what he's done needs to be highlighted because when we start talking callers of the year and things like that, this guy.
TBZ, what's going on, family? Great
Jay,
job, like always,
what up?
man. Nothing much, man. Hey, man, that was a great interview. That was some great insight, man. And I got to agree with Ronnie, man. I agree with everything that he's saying as far as with the loyalty aspect. And it's kind of like 2 things. It's kind of like you playing, like you see the writing on the wall. And then you kind of also, too, you also know, like, where your loyalty lies. The reason why I said the writing on the wall is, okay, let's say, for instance, Efe Ajagba sticks with Ronnie Shields, right? His next fight, it doesn't go the way that it should go. He wins, but he doesn't look spectacular. He doesn't get the knockout. What you think they're going to do? You think Jay Prince is going to be like, oh, y'all just go back in the training camp and y'all work on it? They're going to be like, nah, we got to get you up out of here. We got to get you somebody that I'm comfortable with, someone that I know for a fact that can get you a knockout. So you already know that's going to happen. But then it's also to the loyalty aspect where it's like, I wouldn't even know who you were if it wasn't for Shelly. I wouldn't even had a relationship with you. I wouldn't even put you on my list of fighters. And I've been doing it for as long as like he said, he's been doing it for as long as he is. It's like, it's like at the end of the day, you got to treat this like a business. You got to treat this like, I have love and I have admiration for you. But at the end of the day, it's like you come and you go. But at the same point in time, my gym is going to stay the same. So you got to do what you got to do, man. That's how I feel about that.
All right, champ. Thanks for calling in, man.
Yo,
Thanks
one more
for
super
calling
chat
in.
from C Dub who says some people still don't believe sides of the street. Yo, I don't get that, man. I really don't. But he's absolutely right.
You know, you let one popular fighter say there ain't no such thing as sides of the street, and everybody wants to believe it. You know, but Ken Stone says you switch promoters and management, and your trainer drops you instantly. Sketchy. So
yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it is a weird situation, and I don't know if y'all remember.
I thought he did a great job of explaining. I don't think it's sketchy. Like he
No,
made it clear now. Like I know exactly
I
why.
think something was going on with Efe, and it might be the girlfriend. But I told y'all that I had heard something about an Efe James Prince relationship months ago, before I was even back with TBB.
He lied.
I heard about
he
that.
Lied. He ain't never tell us. Us.
I told y'all, man. I told y'all. I promise you, I
Why
told
we
y'all.
ain't do a
Somebody in the
rumor mill
chat
show?
remember.
Why we
I
can't do a
promise you,
rumor
somebody in
mill
the chat's
show?
gonna remember. Well, because it was listen, it was not information that I could have given the source for it. So it was like a situation where I didn't really even want to say it. And I didn't think it was true anymore because so much time had passed and nothing had happened. But I'm guessing now that COVID probably pushed that thing back. Like, I'm guessing that it probably would have happened a while back, but.
All right. Let's go to Trey in the Bay.
Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Oh, man, Mario, you talk so long, bro. I spaced out.
My bad.
I had a whole bunch of shit to say. I mean, it don't sound funny to me. It's kind of like how Ness say, man, somebody bring you over here and you dip just like that. But it may be more to the story too, y'all. We ain't gonna never get everything.
You know,
Gotta
Ronnie ain't got no hair on his tongue. He said it's the girlfriend got in his head. Like y'all act like y'all ain't hear the words. Like he literally said he got with his girl. She got in his head. Like he used those words.
Not this. It's not that I didn't hear the words. It's that Mario talked for so fucking long. I forgot my point.
Oh.
And rambling too, Mario. Just rambling, brother. Oh shit. I was saying, yeah, the girl. Hey, we all know that one person that act a little different when the girl come around. They disappear for a couple months, and you'll see them after the breakup, or when shit get rocky. But also too, fuck, I'm all over the place, man. Come back.
All right, man.
Shout out Mr. J. Duke, who remembers.
It's so sad. It like, man, bro. I can't wait for winter to come. I want Doomy to speed up the process because.
I feel you.
I don't understand the level of boxing fan that we're dealing with here. You know, somehow people are changing the narrative of loyalty and attaching it to the fighter. No one is saying that Ajagba needs to be loyal. He doesn't need to be loyal. I just clearly say he did the right job for him. The trainer is loyal to the promoter or to the manager that is the one bringing him the fighters.
Exactly.
You guys seem to be confusing the two because, your brain doesn't work fast enough.
Like, there's nothing that says that Efe didn't do what was right for him and Ronnie didn't do what's right for him. You know what I mean? Like, they both did what was right for themselves.
Like, we don't even know the conversation that Shelly had with Ronnie when he told him what it was. So, like, how about if that conversation was one where Shelly was upset that this all took place? And then Ronnie, who receives fighters from Shelly, decides, well, that's your problem.
Exactly.
That's your problem. I'm gonna go ahead and keep working with this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like, well, man, that sucks for you. Like, nah, that ain't something that would go down like that.
Think about the day that think about Ronnie's emotions the day that Shelly called him and said, "Hey, I got 2 fighters I'm bringing, so you can train," because that's obviously how it happened. I got 2 Nigerians I'm gonna bring. I'm gonna pay you to train them. You know what I'm saying? So like,
no, I get that. I'm not gonna lie though, Ness. When he told us that he straight up hung up the phone on Efe, I was like,
"Yo, you heard me. I had to react to that." I'm like,
yeah,
"Whoa,
man,
champ,
I was
you ain't
like,
even."
damn.
I'm like, "Yo, you ain't even hear him out."
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
that was crazy. But hey, man, that's the drama of boxing, man. I love it. Brandon, Cincinnati.
Yo, what up, Ness? How my audio sound? I'm driving.
You all right so far, champ?
Oh, yeah. I ain't even heard the interview, man. I've been super busy lately, so I guess I got to catch the playback to get the full details. But can you give me a little rundown? Did he leave? Damn, it sounded like he left everybody. Did he leave Al, too? Is Al still advising him? What's going on with that?
He gone. He ain't with Al. Shelly sold the contract to Prince. He signed the top rank. and Ronnie didn't want to go and train him.
Oh, okay. Damn. Well, I guess only time will tell if it was the right decision. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's my call, I guess. But y'all keep up the good work.
All right, and that's what I said, man. Because we'll see. Because I was tight. I'm like, damn, y'all dropped that big baby ball. Y'all should have picked that up. But look, it blew up. That shit was a ticking time bomb for Top Rank.
Yeah. What about that? What about that big baby? That Jared Anderson Efe Ajagba fight one day.
Nah, obviously it's probably not gonna ever happen now because they're trained by the same trainer, bro.
Oh yeah, fuck.
It's over, man. But they gonna spar. That young boy gonna push him.
Listen, they gotta fight, bro.
Yo, he 27, man. He's trained by the same trainer. It's probably never gonna happen at this point.
Damn,
yeah,
that
man.
sucks.
Yeah. But listen, fighters gotta do what's right for them, and trainers gotta do what's right for them. Not everybody is Freddie Roach, who is globally known, and the gym that he works out of is the same one that Manny Pacquiao's trained for the last 20 years of his life. You understand? So that brings you some sort of popularity. That makes fighters come internationally just to spar at Wild Card, and you can run across fighters. Like we were just doing an interview where Bruce Trampler told us that Freddie just called them about some Eastern Europeans that he's got in his gym. And that makes you more accessible, That allows you to get more fighters. But Ronnie's in Texas, in Houston. You understand? Like, he got to get his off his name or through whatever connects you got. And you ain't going to burn them bridges, man. If y'all can't understand that, perspective is whack. Let me get to Keem in Florida. What up?
I open the door for audiences and all of sports to go back to the way it was in Jesus' name. Amen. It's done. Fight. I'm making $10 million. I'm not really worried about what he making on him.
I believe you.
That's why you gonna see in Jesus' name. Amen. With Earl Smith.
Man, you're not fighting those. Shut the fuck up.
Oh.
Yo, what up? Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Good interview, man. My bad, I'm breathing kind of hard. I just had to climb up a damn ladder. But good interview, man. Ronnie just gives me these, he give me them grandpa vibes. Like when Ronnie say something one time, don't ask him again. Don't ask him something around, beating around the bush with that same question. He just seems to get a little frustrated. But yeah, good interview, man. I guess like Brandon just said, we'll see, right? We'll see if this is the right move for Efe. I respect Ronnie if he feel like loyalty's that big to him, and if he sees some signs of loyalty, he's gonna cut it off immediately. I respect it because we seen Daniel Jacobs leave his trainer right before a huge fight that brought him up, and other people that do the same thing. They as soon as the bag starts to come, they cut everybody off. So I think Ronnie's just looking at it like, yo, I'm gonna cut you off before you do me like you're doing everybody else. So, if that's what it is, man, I respect it. But yeah, that's all I got, man.
Going out to New Jersey, King Born, what up? King, what up? Oh no, that is King Born. Damn, Brooklyn, my bad.
And I'm gonna tell you what it is, right? In life, if it's the girlfriend that put that whole thing together, man, is it gonna work for Efe Ajagba? We don't know, man. We gotta see what it is. But he was kind of slimy. He should have just told Shelly what was going on. And he got it right for his career and stuff like that. But like I said, it's kind of slimy. But we know in life, a lot of times as a man, you're gonna listen to the woman. Let's see if it work out for him. You know what I'm saying? Let's see if he ever get a big fight on Top Rank. Let's see what happens. That's my call.
I don't think it's a bad move, man. I don't think it's a bad move. He was in a good situation, and he's still in another good situation. Like, James Prince knows what he's doing. You know, James Prince has a pretty big stable,
That's for sure.
and obviously James Prince fighters are getting paid well. You know, so and he got a good team. Like, there's nothing wrong with Kay Koroma. He's a great trainer. He's been showing that with everybody that he's got, and with the look what he's been able to do with Jarrett Hurd. It's only been one fight, but got the win. Right? They fought Francisco Santana, welterweight moving up. And they're gonna move next. We'll see what's next. We're going to Majid in Florida.
Yo,
What up?
I'm sorry, real quick before Majid, did Kay Koroma was he in Shakur's corner the last fight?
Yep.
He was. Okay.
Yep.
My bad.
He's a second, I think, in that.
Yeah, because what's
the
his name?
grandfather. Waleed?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wally's?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sorry, Majid.
But Majid, what up? Just listening. Stonebone, what up?
What up? What up? Hey, I agree with how Ronnie feel about it. He can, you know what I mean, when you reach that point, you do what you feel is best for you, man. Like, he got a situation with Shelly, and that whole situation, just hold it down with them. And like you said, he let a lot of fighters go. Like you said, it was a bigger deal when he let Jermell or whichever Charlo go. So, but look at it from FA point. When you sit down with your wife and she tell you like, "Hey, what's our plan, honey?" and you sit there as a man and you like, "Damn, I'm in Texas. I'm watching Jay Prince move like a boss. I'm watching his guys get took care of." And Richard Schaefer is not doing a lot of fight cards, so he fighting on other promoters' cards while he promoted by Richard Schaefer. At least his wife like, and it ain't even just his wife. He probably like, look, Top Rank told me I can get 300,000, 500,000 on the escalator clause, and I can fight 4 times a year. I can have a plan. When you're an immigrant, a lack of a plan for you is worse than sometimes how you feel when you first got here, because it's so not written for you. You can't really see what's going on. So they just tell it. I don't want to be disrespectful, but he got white people telling him, Richard Schaefer and Shelly Finkel, white people telling him, it's going to be okay, just stick with us. He coming from Africa. He like, dude, I can't just sit around and wait for y'all to tell me how my career going to go and give me a fight out of the blue. Give me a game plan and give me a mission, and I can accomplish that. That's an immigrant mindset, to have a goal, see it, and knock it out. Not just, hey, fight every 3-4 months, not really organized, not really gaining in the ranking. They got to give him a plan. He just went toward a plan. I don't knock neither one of them, and that's what it is.
I agree, man. I agree. With a wife and a child, you need stability. And the only way that you can offer stability is to have a full schedule.
The only part of that
bonus.
The only part of that I disagree with a little bit is from the Ronnie side, because yes, I agree. If you're a fighter, you need that trajectory. You need to understand where you're headed. You need to understand where the goalposts are. But it's Ronnie's ability to bring him along and get him ready for it. You know what I'm saying? So if he's trying to bite off more than he can chew right away, then being without Ronnie is going to be a huge problem. But I agree though with what Stumbo said.
Bro, at least it wasn't like Calcido who gave up the Badu contract. Shelly at least sold it to Prince. We got Trey in the Bay, Boomerang.
Yeah, man. I remember most of my points now. Sometimes who you start with and who you finish with, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people I ain't with who was kind of with me on this grind, you know what I mean? Loyalty in some type of way, kind of, but these fighters really can't be loyal to nobody. The same way these companies won't be loyal to them. I mean, they'll drop you in a heartbeat. They'll shelf you in a heartbeat. They'll pull some bullshit on you, on these fighters in a heartbeat. So you really can't be mad. I feel both sides. Also, too, sometimes listening to your woman can be a good thing, and sometimes it can be a bad thing. I know the only sport you watch is boxing, so I'll put you on to a cornerback from Philly that played in Miami for the Dolphins, and they was trying to lowball him and say he wasn't no good and say all this other shit. So when they renew his contract, they didn't have to give him a whole bunch of money. So his wife started making a whole bunch of noise on the internet and started managing him and got him kicked off the team and got him a better deal. And his career has been great. And he's retired, I think, last year or the year before. So, I mean, it can work out. That's my call.
No, I said that Monica. Remember, we said Monica did great for Bradley. So there are women that are wives that step in and turn the career around.
Yeah.
Listen,
no, you're absolutely right.
I'm not mad at Efe. He did what he needed to do. I think Top Rank is the machine. We've been saying that. PBC is with Fox, but they don't use Fox the way that Top Rank uses ESPN. You understand?
Yes.
Like we don't see, Shannon Sharp or who's over there. Is it Skip? Who got the Fox show?
That's Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp.
Them dudes ain't even bringing none of the PBC fighters on their show, bro.
I know. I thought about that the other day too.
Dude's trash, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, ESPN is like just highlights the .com, bro. I don't know if it's just me because I frequent the .com, but I know this for a fact. You check their ranking, they're 137. Okay. If there's a billion websites, there are 137 in the world. That's huge. So when you're on the front page of that, even if it is ESPN.com/boxing, that is traffic.
That is traffic. Big move.
Yo, listen, that is traffic, man. So that's important. And now I'm sure Efe got an article already on ESPN. The press release went out. Everybody's writing about this move, but the writing won't stop when it comes to ESPN on Efe. And that keeps his name in the media. That keeps him hot. But that is everybody. And that's GTO, Instagram and Twitter. Catch us on the next one. Yeah. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. This was a spontaneous show. This news literally broke at 1:59. It sucks, though. Some reporters get the press release first.
I know.
Because I seen it on Boxing Scene before it got in my inbox. And I was like,
word?
Hell yeah.
Well, I didn't know when it got in the inbox, but I saw it when you had sent it to me. But real quick, before we go, I do want to give a little plug. We did mention it on the morning show, and I'm stalling for time because I'm trying to read it.
That's crazy. Listen to this, just for context. Okay. Boxing Scene published it at 1:59 Eastern time. My inbox received it at 1:59 Eastern time. So how much buffer time they gave Keith Idek to rewrite the press release? Because it's the same quote.
Yo, damn, I don't see it, but I was gonna try to read it. Oh, damn, you know what? I have it on here. So, real quick, I do want to give a shout out to Supermex, who came up with a really good idea. If you're not a Patreon, you should go to Patreon. We have a new show coming out, Patreon only. And it's essentially like a Legendary Nights type of show. But I'm just going to read you the thing real quick before we go. At Martin McGee on Twitter, at Martin McGee on Instagram. Join us as we discuss and break down your favorite fights and the moments that made them legendary. From the betting line favorites to the unbelievable moments throughout the promotional build-up, the panel will discuss the historic nature of our Patreon's favorite fights. Each week, our Patreons will select a fight that the Boxing Voice team will then research and study thoroughly in an effort to highlight your favorite moments and possibly inform you on things not previously known. To make a suggestion, please provide the following: a fight to review, preferably one within the last 25 years. Although if it's a historic fight that is plenty of content out there, then, we should be able to do that and make it work. The favorite, who's the favorite in the fight? I mean, you don't have to put that. Well, obviously, if it's something we'll know, but, it would help us out specifically if you put the betting odds. If you can get us the betting odds, that would be great. Special moments within the promotion, just any little things, highlights. We don't need a long paragraph, just little bullet points would be great. Specific on any info within the fighters camp, trainers, were they trading, did they have a new trainer at the time? Were they going back to an old trainer? Were there any issues with weight cuts, outside distractions, problems with the law, marital issues, whatever. And then any documentaries, articles, and coverage on the fight/fighters during that time. And you could just provide us with the links. But listen, all you really need to do is give us a fight. We can do the rest. Any of that additional information is just, if you got it off the top of your head, that's cool. But we will put in the work. Shout out to Supermex. Love the idea. Seems like a lot of people are really excited about it. And if you are not a Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/the boxing voice and sign up, and we will be debuting this show next week. So yeah, catch us on the next one. Peace.
Really quick, I wanted to pull up the sketch. Looks like we got a DAZN card that starts at 2:00, which is the Terry Harper, Natasha Jonas card.
Today?
No.
Oh, I was like, what?
August 7th. Friday.
August 7th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
With Hopi Price on
we got the Jermall
Fowler,
James.
Those
Yeah,
guys.
Terry Harper, Natasha Jones is going to be a good fight. Anthony Fowler. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. It's going to be a good one.
Billingsmith is fighting as well.
And then the next day on August 8th, we have the Fox PBC
Thomas
card.
Delorme versus Jermall James.
Jermall James, Thomas Delorme. And that's for a vacant WBA interim title, by the way.
I got to get Thomas on. Who's he training with right now, bro?
Yo, and by the way, that co-main event is fire. I don't know how we haven't talked about it. David Morrell and Lennox Allen.
Lennox Allen is fire. I thought he was with Top Rank. What the hell? He is the WBA.
12
this
rounds
must have been
for vacant WBA interim super middleweight title.
Yo,
Omar Juarez, Willie Shaw, that should be a good one. Michaela Fox. Yo, that's a good card.
They're trying to play Allen. Allen already had that belt. What do you mean vacant? Let me read. Let me search this, bro. Allen already had that belt. He fought on a Top Rank card not too long ago. Man, that's crazy. Don't say it on there. He took a picture with that belt, his last fight in the Top Rank card when he beat Derek Webster. But whatever. Allen probably not gonna be the favorite either.
Nah, he didn't fight for any title. It was against Derek Webster. And there was nothing on. It was a 10-rounder.
Bro, who's this dude he's fighting, bro? Why is this dude 2-0? He's Cuban, 22 years old. Holy smokes.
Yeah, he
think he about to make a name off Allen.
Listen, he has a ton of buzz on Twitter, bro. Like, I see people.
6'1", bro. He's 6'1".
Yeah. Yep. 78.5-inch reach. 22 years old from Cuba.
I don't know, bro.
Currently fighting out of Minneapolis, Minnesota.
I don't know, bro. I don't really like dudes. I'm a bit of a hater. I'm a bit of a hater, dog. I don't really like dudes trying to jump the line that quick. You know what I'm saying? I might have to go against them. But you got to give them respect
if they win, though.
Oh yeah.
So what you saying? That you wanna find some money on Allen?
I'm not even gonna say anything else. That's what I'm gonna do.
Let's say this. Tune in Friday for the betting show
and tweet.
And then maybe.
Holy shit! This fight is Friday. Oh wow! Let me see that.
This fight's Saturday.
Wow.
August 8th, right? So today's what? Tuesday? No, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday. Yeah, Saturday. Yeah, because the other fight's on Friday. The DAZN card.
I never seen this kid before, bro. He came out of nowhere right now trying to fight my man. Yo, I know Lennox, like, long time. Yo, TBV know. TBV know we know Lennox, man. I'm not going to say any more. I got your freaking wallets fat off Lennox. Let me see. It's not on the line yet, though. I need a new betting site, bro.
I'm going to tell you right now, a week from Saturday, we are going to be busy. The 15th of August, Carl Frampton on ESPN/ESPN Plus with Michael Conlon in the co-main event. Don't recognize anybody else on that card. Connecticut fight with the PBC Showtime. That's the same date. David Benavidez versus Angulo, Romer Angulo, who we just had the trainer on this morning, Pedro Diaz. And on that same card, Rolando Romero versus Jackson Martinez.
Yeah. That's the Dominican. You know, Rolando Romero is Roly.
Yeah, Romy.
And
Roly,
Jackson is
Roly.
the undefeated Dominican, but his record ain't up to par. But
and they fighting for a vacant WBA interim lightweight title. Yo, they just handing out WBA interim titles
hell
like
yeah, that's it.
Like
they got
hotcakes.
They got an alliance with PBC. It's over.
Yeah.
Listen,
And Otto Wallin's on that card with Travis Kaufman, and later the Oklahoma, that same date on the 15th, Oklahoma DAZN with Brackus and McCaskill, and then Madrimov's on the card with Eric Walker. It's gonna be a fun freaking Saturday, bro. Fun freaking Saturday.
Yo, see this other spot got a lot of bets. Anyway, yo, we out, man. Catch us on the next one. Deuce to the A. Oh, snap. Easy Wagano is back. That's my dude, man. Even though he got starched, I want to see the development, the get back. Peace out, y'all.